His name is Alex Xiao, originally a big brother in the underworld. But due to a handsome accident, he was reborn in this policeman's body. He becomes a detective in the Major Crimes Division of City Q. The police station is busy that day. The leader instructed them to work overtime tonight to investigate the stun gun rape case. Alex Xiao does not want to work overtime. If he doesn't work overtime, he may not be able to stay at the police station. What should he do? Should he go back to the underworld? A voice suddenly sounded in his mind. Request system started successfully, selecting a gift for you at random. Is this the legendary request system? I have lost everything I once had. What is the use of this request system? I don't know anyone in this place. Am I going to grow old lonely in this world? Look to the right for Alex Xiao. A beauty with long legs and black stockings and a large chest. This chick is really sexy. He looked at the girl with a deliberately provocative look. Alex Xiao didn't even think about it, and went straight up to strike up a conversation. The beauty said she would accompany Alex Xiao for the night for 3,000. Alex Xiao only has 1,000 in his bank book. He could only watch helplessly as the beauty left with someone else. At this moment, Alex Xiao realized. The man next to them kept staring at them. Alex Xiao directly gave him the middle finger. Alex Xiao didn't think he was a good person. He suddenly thought of the serious crime unit investigating the case of stun gun rape. The incidents often occur near places like bars and other venues. The third victim once scratched the face of the perpetrator. There were injuries on his face. Is he the rapist? After some inner struggle, Alex Xiao still followed along. He walked into the dark alley behind the bar and suddenly kicked something. The man fell to the ground in a strange posture. His body was unnaturally stiff, a result of the stun gun. Alex Xiao picked up a wooden stick nearby and quickly followed. At this moment, the beautiful woman in black stockings also fell into a state of unconsciousness. A pervert slowly reached towards the woman's collar, unaware that Alex Xiao was gradually approaching from behind. It's you. A sudden voice rang out, causing the pervert's eyes to widen like brass bells, reflecting the figure of Alex Xiao holding a stick. With one blow, Alex Xiao knocked the pervert down. I didn't expect him to solve the case so easily. People are questioning whether Alex Xiao really cracked the case. Alex Xiao couldn't be bothered. He looked at the reward he received for solving the case in his hand. The voice in his mind echoed once again. This request has been completed. Completion rate, 75%. Congratulations. You have won an invisible bug, valid for 48 hours. Please check it carefully. Is encountering a criminal due to the request system? Arriving at the dormitory, Alex Xiao thought he could have a good night's sleep, but was tortured by his roommates snoring and spent the night tossing and turning. He appeared in the fast food restaurant at 5 a.m. Alex Xiao's eyes were bloodshot. Alex Xiao thought, why not rent a house outside? The voice in his head sounded again. Requesting system asks Alex Xiao to go out and find a house. Alex Xiao decided to start looking for a house. Just as Alex Xiao was thinking, a faint cry for help came over. Alex Xiao turned around to look. A woman in a red dress lay in a pool of blood with her right arm missing, the bone wrapped in gauze still bleeding. Her eyes were wide open as if she had something to say. A woman lay in a pool of blood. Her right arm was severed and wrapped in gauze, still bleeding. Alex Xiao found her, and she has been taken to the hospital. She is not in critical condition. Rumors suggest she may be linked to a case from a year ago where someone's hand was chopped off. The police are actively investigating. Alex Xiao complained. This scene is really poor. It doesn't show my noble and lofty temperament. What do you think? Mina Luo, lying on the sickbed, trembled all over. She roared angrily. There's not even a trace of the criminal now. What are you police eating? She grabbed a pillow and threw it at Alex Xiao. Oh, this hand is quite powerful. Mina Luo looked at Alex Xiao with a provoking expression. She picked up a slipper. She threw the slipper over. She kicked Alex Xiao out. Beside her, Karen couldn't help but say, "Senior brother, your mouth is so tactless. She is already missing a hand. Isn't this provoking her?" Alex Xiao replied, "I am trying to make her see the positive side. At least she still has her left hand." Alex Xiao looked at the victim's information while speaking. Mina Luo is the third victim. The murderer hid in the car beforehand. After drugging Mina Luo, the murderer parked the car in an alley by the roadside to commit the crime. When the victim woke up in the car in the morning, she found her right hand missing. She hurriedly got out of the car to seek help nearby. That's when she encountered Alex Xiao. Karen said this is a notorious serial hand-chopping case. It's already the third incident. The police station has been struggling for a year with no leads. You made a big promise to the captain. What if the case can't be solved? Karen kindly reminded. Alex Xiao replied, "What is there to be afraid of? Anything is possible." Alex Xiao thought to himself. These days, relying on the request system, I not only solved the case of electric baton rape, but also rented the house I am currently living in. As long as we have this request system. I am a detective. Alex Xiao immediately asked about the situations of the other two victims. The first victim is called Sweeta Gao. Last year at the same time, she came to the city to watch a concert. After it ended, she was drugged in the underground passageway and her right hand was chopped off. The situation of the second victim, Lily Yuan, is even more serious. She was sleeping at her own home and woke up without her hand. Even more bizarrely, the anti-theft door at Lily Yuan's home was not pried open. The culprit actually had a key. Even stranger is, the culprit successfully avoided the security cameras in all three incidents. Up to now, we haven't even found a single hair belonging to the culprit. Karen is speaking seriously about the details of the case, completely unaware of what Alex Xiao's eyes are looking at. Later, the two of them passed by the hospital's commercial street. There was a group photo of camels. They were about to take one together when they heard someone shout, "Robbery!" Karen nervously urged Alex Xiao to hurry and chase after. Alex Xiao, however, remained indifferent and said, "We are from the Serious Crime Unit. Catching a thief is a minor task that doesn't require our intervention." At this moment, he saw a woman running towards him who had just been robbed. After seeing it clearly, Alex Xiao was stunned. Isn't this my first love girlfriend from my previous life? Could it be that there is more than just me crossing over? Then he threw the information in his hand to Karen. He mounted his camel and was about to rid the people of harm. A man riding a camel dashed through the vegetable market. The scattered goods on both sides of the road did not hinder him at all, as he chased a fleeing robber. Alex Xiao came up and gave the robber a big slap. Curly-haired guy angrily asked, "Who are you?" As Alex Xiao approached, a plank accidentally hit curly-haired guy on the head. Curly-haired guy, holding his head, asked woefully, "Who are you?" "I am a police officer." At this moment, Alex Xiao shines with the light of justice. He stepped on curly-haired guy's face with one foot. Arriving at the police station, Alex Xiao was scolded by the police officers pointing at his nose. "Do the police have someone like you causing trouble? Now the stall owner is about to blow up the phone of the police station. The entire alley is ruined by the mess your camel made." A colleague beside patted the shoulder of the police officer, who was scolding someone, and said, "This person is from the Serious Crime Unit, Section 2. Alex Xiao looked smug. At this time, the girl who was saved on the side also expressed her gratitude. "I work as a nurse at the Central Hospital. You can come to me if you need anything." Alex Xiao looked at the girl in front of him. He was reminded of his ex-girlfriend from a past life who looked exactly like her. He knew that she couldn't possibly be a nurse as she used to faint at the sight of blood. In their past life, she couldn't be together with Alex Xiao forever. This time Alex Xiao didn't want to miss out again. He exchanged contact information with the young lady. The voice in his head sounded. The completion progress of this request is 72%. You have obtained an invisible tracker. The request arranged by the request system is random. Alex Xiao is puzzled. I have to understand the manual of the request system before I can use it. Alex Xiao clenched the soda can in his hand. I have to rely on my own strength to solve the case. I need more information related to the case. We are in the office of the Serious Crime Unit B. Everyone is discussing the case fervently. Officer Ginny is analyzing the case meticulously. They also mocked Alex Xiao, saying that he only knows how to talk but not take action. Alex Xiao, however, does not think so. He was attracted by the analysis board behind Ginny. He carefully studied the handwriting on the suspect's side for a while. It was only then that he realized why he had always been caught by the police in his past life. At this moment, Officer Ginny spoke up. I heard that you made a bet with Captain Liu to solve the case personally, Ginny, the officer said. Are you clueless? So you came to our Team B for help, Ginny teased. Do you need my help? He faced Ginny's challenge. Alex Xiao suddenly pushed her against the wall. The guy who secretly loves Ginny almost wanted to kill Alex Xiao out of jealousy. Alex Xiao said, I'm just here to get some information on the hacking case. If you're afraid, I can solve the case first. Just forget about stealing your credit. I see you working so hard and still not catching anyone. I'm just worried for you. Ginny never even dreamed of it. Just now, the cave dawned. In fact, Alex Xiao hit a bug in the container. Then the discussion from Team B could be heard. After examination, it was found that Mina Luo had been exposed to 2 types of anesthetics, one of which is used for anesthesia in large animals. The victim's right hand. All are cut off in one stroke by a tool similar to an axe. The perpetrator avoided the hardest radius bone, so the possibility of a female perpetrator cannot be ruled out. Traces of glue were found in Mina Luo's car by the forensics team. The perpetrator should have been wearing a special kind of single-light film. Many traffic cameras captured the car at the time of the incident, but no hint of the suspect's silhouette can be seen. What will the silhouette reveal? The silhouette will reveal that the person is a woman. The 3 victims do not know each other. Is the murderer committing crimes at random? Perhaps he has a twisted and pathological mind. Why did he take the right hand? The murderer's goal is revenge. Alex Xiao said firmly. The colleague next to him looked puzzled and asked, How do you know? Alex Xiao said, I guessed. In a dark room, the white-haired woman drew the name of the 3rd victim, Mina Luo. Behind her, there are 3 hands. Suida Gao, Lily Yuan, and Mina Luo. Caddy asked, Where are you? I've been here for a while. Caddy bent over next to the flower bed. It's right here at the entrance of your police station. Alex Xiao said, All right, I see you. Alex Xiao came out holding the phone. Caddy, who is playing with a cat, looks cute when she turns around. Alex Xiao casually takes the carbonated drink from Caddy's bag. Drank it up. It's not even 7 o'clock yet. Remembered staying up all night last night for the break case. Didn't sleep a wink. Alex Xiao asked, What's up with you running over here looking exhausted? Caddy coquettishly said, tugging at Alex Xiao's sleeve. We are partners, aren't we? Alex Xiao thought about it. Last time caught her selling someone else's account for money at the internet cafe entrance. Upon Caddy's earnest request, Alex Xiao promised to keep it a secret for her, but they agreed to split the dirty money 50-50. Unexpectedly, the house recommended by the request system for rent turned out to be Caddy's house. As a result, all the money earned by Alex Xiao went to Caddy again for rent. Alex Xiao glanced at Caddy and said, Just say it if you have something to say. when Caddy asked for help in attending the parent-teacher meeting. Alex Xiao spit out a mouthful of water. He said, "What a joke," only to see Caddy jumping on Alex Xiao, softening and coaxing him. Alex Xiao said, "If your dad finds out, he'll kick me out. Where will I sleep?" Caddy surprisingly is willing to give up her room. "Please, Daddy." Caddy began flirting with Alex Xiao. Alex Xiao said, "Even calling me Daddy won't work." Just a second ago, Alex Xiao was still firmly refusing. And the next second, Alex Xiao appeared at the parent-teacher meeting. In the last life, he was at least a gang leader. Nowadays, Alex Xiao is being controlled by a little sister. Alex Xiao is restless. He is looking forward to the end of the parents' meeting. He watched the piano performance on the stage and remembered the case of the investigation into the hand-cutting incident. What should be used to chop off such beautiful hands? Two music teachers were exchanging musical pleasantries on the stage. Alex Xiao suddenly had an inspiration. He remembered the second victim. Lily Yuan is a music teacher at the university. Her piano skills must be impressive. The first victim is Sweeta Gao. The day she got her hand chopped off, she was attending a concert. He immediately called Karen. Asked her to check if the third victim has any connection to the piano. Later, Alex Xiao verified that his guess was correct. All three victims are grade 10 pianists. It's just that their exam times were different. Alex Xiao asked Karen to check their study experiences and classmates from the same period. Alex Xiao concluded that the murderer must know them. It is also very likely that the murderer plays the piano. But the three victims do not know each other. What is it that connects them to the killer? Alex Xiao recalled that the piano teacher he just met mentioned competing in a piano competition here 20 years ago. It is possible that the murderer is a piano virtuoso. The murderer and the victim participated in the competition together. The victims were eliminated. Therefore, the murderer harbored a grudge and sought revenge. At this moment, the principal speaking on the stage was once again interrupted by Alex Xiao's phone ringing. The principal was getting really angry. Alex Xiao doesn't care that much. He picked up the phone and walked out. The three suspects did indeed all participate in the same competition. What's more, the competition took place right at this school. At this moment, the principal rushed over in a huff. Just as he was about to drive Alex Xiao out, Alex Xiao slammed the door open. Alex Xiao asked about the principal. Is there a list of the participants for the 10th piano competition? The murderer must be on the list. Have you ever seen a school principal in a grand school? Are you being directed to work? Inside the school's archives, the principal is busy searching for something. It turns out that it was a piano competition held at this school 10 years ago, related to the recent investigation of the case involving a person's hand being chopped off. But because it happened too long ago, no matter how hard they searched, they couldn't find the previous match records. Alex Xiao sat leisurely at the table behind. His phone suddenly rang. As soon as the call was connected, Karen said that she got the piano competition list as soon as the call connected. After conducting interviews and investigations, only one contestant has not been checked yet. The top suspect is the 10th place in the piano competition, which is Shandy Zhao. It was only after Alex Xiao arrived at her house that he discovered she was actually pregnant. Her belly is so big. The possibility of her committing the crime has also been ruled out. Karen said, "It's not right again." And she was so angry that she stomped her foot. But they made the visit through this time. Alex Xiao became even more convinced that the reason the killer committed the crime was because of the competition. Perhaps the killer ended up living a life they did not want. Karen said, "If the killer is not on this list, doesn't this mean that all the participants need to be screened again?" Alex Xiao hugged Karen and said, "Good idea. This challenging task is left to you." Karen said, Senior brother, I found that you are different from before. Alex Xiao also openly admitted that he used to be a member of the underworld. He just got reborn and hasn't fully adapted to his new identity as a police officer yet. Karen covered Alex Xiao's face and said, I mean, your dark circles have gotten bigger, Karen said. Go back and rest for a while, she said. Karen is around caring. At this moment, a voice sounded in Alex Xiao's mind. This request has been completed. Completion rate is 88%. Obtained universal lockpick. Can unlock single door locks and electronic passwords up to 6 digits in length. Alex Xiao thought to himself. With such a high completion rate, I might find clues related to the case and the request system at the parents' meeting this time. I'll go back and try restarting the request system again. If the killer acts like last year, cutting hands every 3 days, there may be a 4th victim tomorrow. I must catch you before then. But I need a good rest now. Alex Xiao went home right after saying goodbye to Karen. The next morning, Alex Xiao was woken up by a series of urgent knocks on the door. Alex Xiao opened the door. I know you're in there. I heard you coughing in the middle of the night. Caddy shouted outside the door. Alex Xiao remembered messing up Caddy's parent-teacher meeting yesterday. Alex Xiao jumped out of bed, eager to find a place to hide. The knocking on the door outside became more intense. Not opening the door, huh? Then I'll open it myself. After Caddy entered, she didn't see Alex Xiao's figure. She searched everywhere. But he was not under the bed or on the balcony. She said, Just wait and see, scoundrel. She angrily closed the door and left. Meanwhile, Alex Xiao, who at that time saw Caddy leaving from the neighbor's balcony, then jumped back to his own house at ease. But he found that the door to the balcony was locked. But Caddy is the landlord. She has the key to this house. Alex Xiao thought, how about I go in from next door? Alex Xiao remembered what the landlord had said. His neighbors are 4 beautiful women who work at nightclubs. All of them are beauties. Alex Xiao is very familiar with this industry. It is not yet 6 o'clock now, so they definitely haven't finished work. Alex Xiao jumped across to the adjacent balcony in one leap. He opened the door, and sure enough, there was no one at home. Alex Xiao swaggered out confidently. He didn't expect to bump into a pretty woman. Her sexy little camisole exposed a big and white chest. Alex Xiao accidentally entered the house of a beautiful neighbor. Unexpectedly, he ran into the beauty. He was even asked by the beauty to go on a date together. What would you do if it were you? Alex Xiao is now at the female neighbor's house. He is about to go out. He ran into May just as she came out after taking a shower. The beauty was wearing only a sexy camisole. As the beauty let out a scream, Alex Xiao immediately didn't know what to do. He quickly covered her mouth. He hoped no one would know about this incident. At this moment, the beauty coquettishly said, Officer, do I remember correctly? You were the one who saved me from the criminals with the stun gun. Alex Xiao recalled the person he saved at the bar last time. The beauty wearing black stockings turned out to be her. Only then did he relax. He said, I live next door and got locked on the balcony. I thought nobody was home and wanted to borrow a way out. I didn't expect you to be home. The beautiful woman skillfully took out a cigarette and lit it. Normally, I would be going to work at this time. The case of the hand chopping has left me with some psychological shadow. I want to take a break. She said that as she spoke, she blew a puff of smoke into Alex Xiao's face. She said, But there's something that puzzles me. The beauty then placed her hand on Alex Xiao's shoulder. Her face drew close to his ear. How did you know that the robber would target me? Is it police intuition or some other reason? Alex Xiao said. There was no woman at the scene more beautiful than you. My aesthetic matches that of the criminal. The beauty laughed happily upon hearing this. She pushed Alex Xiao down to the ground and pinned him underneath her. The girl said, Alex Xiao is indeed quite experienced in romance. My roommate won't be back until noon. Opportunities like this are rare. The girl then began to proactively climb onto Alex Xiao's waist. The pretty girl's phone rang at an inappropriate time. Alex Xiao was almost scared to erectile dysfunction. He saw the piano on the screen of the beauty's phone. Alex Xiao sat up with renewed spirit. He asked, "Can you play the piano?" "Pressed down by a beauty again," she said. "Surprised, right? I've been forced by my mom to practice the piano since I was sensible. I have a grade 10 in piano. I even participated in the piano competition at our number 2 high school." Alex Xiao's excited pupils dilated. Alex Xiao suddenly rolled over and pinned the beauty beneath him, asking, "Which session?" The beauty hooked her hands around Alex Xiao's neck and said, "The 10th session, what's wrong?" Alex Xiao's mouth curled upwards after hearing that. He thought to himself, "I didn't expect her to be in the same session as the murderer." He immediately bent down and said, "Do you know Sweet Gao, Lily Yuan, and Mina Luo? Their rankings are 4th, 5th, and 6th. The woman said, "I don't know them." Before Alex Xiao could finish speaking, she covered his mouth with one hand. With one hand pulling Alex Xiao's collar, she said, "Officer, why are you still investigating cases?" The woman couldn't wait to play with Alex Xiao. Alex Xiao, however, was still talking about the case of the hand being chopped off on the side. When the woman heard that all the people who had their hands chopped off had participated in this competition, the woman was frightened. She huddled under Alex Xiao, afraid that she would also be in danger. Alex Xiao quickly held the beauty in his arms. He made the beauty reveal all the details about the competition. Later, Alex Xiao found Karen. They learned that there was a child prodigy back then. She passed level 10 before the age of 12 and made it to the final round with outstanding results. She withdrew from the competition suddenly on the night before the final round. It is said that Stacy Lee comes from a poor family. In order to learn the piano, she sold her ancestral home. Alex Xiao thought, "This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Only if she can enter the top 3 will her destiny change. Something must have happened at that competition." But the Stacy Lee family seemed to have vanished into thin air. The police couldn't find any trace of information. "We can only get things done by spending money. Look for the search expert in the team, Daniel Zahn. Whenever someone needs to search for a person, everyone will look for him." Alex Xiao sneered. He said, "Let's go! Let's go find someone together." Inside the billiards hall, Daniel Zahn sat on the table like a hooligan. He said, "Zhao, buddy, what wind blew you here?" What would happen if a big gangster is challenged by a group of small thugs? If you want to know, just subscribe and keep reading. In the previous life, Alex Xiao was a big shot in the underworld. He actually reborn as a police officer. That day, he was investigating the clues of the case of hand chopping. He needs the help of the expert tracker Daniel Zahn to find someone. Meanwhile, Daniel Zahn is having a great time playing at the pool hall. He also boasted that there was no need to worry about the police. The thug by his side also echoed. Daniel Zahn's henchmen thought Alex Xiao was a fool. They didn't think it was a big deal. Karen was gritting her teeth in anger. Daniel Zahn patted Alex Xiao on the shoulder, saying, "Come on, it's not easy for us brothers to get together." Alex Xiao asked, "How are we playing?" Alex Xiao held back his anger. Daniel Zahn said, "Lose one game and give me $50. Alex Xiao asked, "How many strokes can I play?" Daniel Zahn grinned and said, "You can play as many as you want." Alex Xiao smiled mischievously. He directly broke the club. He shouted, 50, then another 100. The psychic grabbed Alex Xiao by the collar. He threatened Alex Xiao, saying, "Do you want to die?" He didn't know that Alex Xiao used to be a gangster in his previous life. Only a bang sound was heard. The sidekick was knocked down by Alex Xiao. Alex Xiao said, "Shut up." Then Alex Xiao kicked sidekick, sending them flying several meters away. Sidekick painfully covered their groin area. The other thug, seeing this, grabbed a weapon and prepared to step forward. Karen had never seen this kind of situation before. She was so scared that she was trembling. Alex Xiao told her to stand aside and not move. He moved his wrist a little. He said, "It's been a while since I've moved around." He threw a straight punch, followed by a hook punch. He slapped someone. In the end, he coolly kicked again with his hands in his pockets. Daniel Zahn, pressed against the corner of the wall, widened his eyes in fear. Before Alex Xiao could say anything, Daniel Zahn obediently said that he would help Alex Xiao with anything. Alex Xiao pulled Daniel Zahn over. Alex Xiao said, "Thank you." Daniel Zahn said, "You're welcome." I have to say, Daniel Zahn is quite cunning. Stacy Lee's father was hospitalized several times for heart disease 15 years ago. Stacy Lee's mother was hospitalized in the oncology department in May of last year. Stacy Lee's family never left the city at all. This old residential building is Stacy Lee's address. This is where the third victim was attacked and had their hand chopped off. It's less than 100 meters away. Stacy Lee could evade the surveillance cameras in Jinglu Alley, either because she is familiar with that area or she actually lives there. After having her hand chopped off, she boldly walked back home like nothing had happened. Alex Xiao then knocked on the door, only to see a black figure slowly poking its head out. A young prodigy who is not yet 12 years old has already passed the 10th level in piano. Her fingers were unexpectedly cut off by someone. What changes will her fate take? Just now, the door of Stacy Lee's house slowly opened. A haggard old woman came out. Karen took out her identification and inquired, "Does Stacy Lee live here?" Luckily, they have come to the right place. Alex Xiao spoke up directly, asking, "Has your daughter played the piano before?" The old man appeared flustered and said, "We cannot mention the word piano in our family. After Stacy Lee's father passed away, we never mentioned it again." Alex Xiao asked, "Did something happen?" The old lady began to speak about the reasons. Stacy Lee has always been a very capable child. She has won awards in previous county, city, and provincial level competitions. More than 10 years ago, in the preliminary round at second high school, Stacy Lee came in third place. She easily made it to the finals because she felt that the gap between her and the top two was small. She wanted to increase the difficulty of her chosen song in the finals. The organizers arranged a practice session for her 1 day in advance. That day, Stacy Lee waited until everyone had left. Stacy Lee then had the opportunity to start practicing the piano, and she practiced very attentively. People suddenly heard a scream. The elderly woman continued, "At that time, people saw blood everywhere on the piano and the floor. Doctors said Stacy Lee's right middle finger was cut by a sharp object, injuring her tendons and joints. They recommended that we find the severed tip of the finger and reattach it, otherwise she might have a disability. For a child whose life revolves around the piano, losing the ability to flex her fingers is akin to a death sentence." Stacy Lee's father hurried back to the hall to look for her, but only after he arrived did he realize. The blood on the piano is completely gone. The piano has been wiped clean. Stacy Lee's missing fingertip is nowhere to be found. The organizers don't want Stacy Lee's incident to affect other contestants. They plan to keep this matter quiet until the end of the competition. By then, the police won't have any evidence to find. The police only mentioned that the finger was severed by a sharp blade that was placed upside down in the gap between the black keys of the piano. That uncommon position is only reached in the piece chosen by Stacy Lee. The person who placed the blade there was jealous of Stacy Lee's talent and feared losing. Although Stacy Lee's hand has slightly recovered after therapy, she still trembles whenever she sees a piano. The old woman couldn't help but shed tears as she spoke. Stacy Lee was hurt not only physically but also emotionally. Stacy Lee's father also suffered a heart attack because of this incident. After staying in the hospital multiple times, he passed away. Alex Xiao was shocked when he heard this. He calmed his emotions. After analyzing the current information, he inferred that Stacy Lee is the primary suspect. However, evidence is still lacking. Alex Xiao noticed a tightly locked room. He found out that it was Stacy Lee's room. Alex Xiao walked over. Stacy Lee has been out performing in the countryside with their theater troupe these days. She will come back in a few days. Alex Xiao's mind suddenly thought of many things. Stacy Lee works at the theater group. The murderer once used the single optical patch in the victim's car, which is often used by the theater group. Alex Xiao immediately made up a lie. He told the woman, "Your daughter is involved in a case. Someone wants to harm your daughter." The woman behind him was shocked. As Alex Xiao was talking, he took out the keychain in his hand and prepared to pick the lock. He said, "It might be the person who used to put the razor blades. Maybe Stacy Lee has some evidence. So we must go to her room and take a look." Immediately, Alex Xiao began to open the door. The woman wanted to stop him. She doesn't like others entering her room. Alex Xiao explained, "We are just trying to protect her safety. We won't let her see that someone has been in the room." But when the door was pushed open, Karen screamed in fright. She threw herself into Alex Xiao's arms. Alex Xiao also hugged her in return. It turned out to be a human skeleton. Immediately, Stacy Lee's mom turned on the light. Karen took another look. She was still very scared. She saw several books on anesthesiology and anatomy placed on the desk. Alex Xiao asked, "Is your daughter studying medicine?" The old lady replied, "No, she worked at a pet clinic. She was an assistant." Alex Xiao thought again. All the victims in the case were anesthetized with animal drugs before having their hands severed, confirming his suspicions. But he found that there was not a single table in the room. Alex Xiao looked around and lifted the bed quickly before closing it again. He immediately pushed Stacy Lee's mother out of the room and closed the door. Karen was confused a second ago. Why did he lie to Stacy Lee's mother? The next second, Karen was shocked and covered her mouth. She found that under Stacy Lee's bed were Sweet Agao, Lily Yuan, and Mina Luo. You would never guess. What kind of person hides 3 severed hands under the bed? Just now, under Stacy Lee's bed, the right hands of the 3 victims in the chopped hands case were finally found. Karen looked at Alex Xiao admiringly. She said, "You are amazing. How did you know there was something wrong in her room?" Alex Xiao said, "It's strange to have to lock the room at home." Stacy Lee was injured on her right hand back then, which matches the victim's. Her mother had surgery in May last year, just after the 2 hand-chopping cases. Her mother's condition stabilized after 9 months of chemotherapy. Stacy Lee then carried out the 3rd hand-cutting case. All the missing evidence has now been found. Alex Xiao watched the materials and plans prepared by Stacy Lee for the hand-chopping. Now he can explain those strange methods of committing the crime. On the 24th, Stacy Lee attended a concert with the first victim, Sweet Agao. After the concert ended, Stacy Lee followed Sweet Agao. After knocking Sweet Agao unconscious and cutting off her hand in the electrical room, Stacy Lee did not hurry to leave the scene. Stacy Lee put Sweet Agao's hand in a container of formalin. Stacy Lee didn't go to retrieve that hand until 2 months after the incident. After that, Stacy Lee waited in the ventilator until dawn. She crawled into the ventilation duct to blend in with the workers going to work and left from the gym. On the day she chopped off the hand, she went directly to the second victim's, Lily Yuan's, neighbor's roof. She stayed there until the night of the 25th and climbed to Lily Yuan's roof using a ladder. Stacy Lee had prepared the key to the victim's house in advance. Lily Yuan's house had been bugged beforehand. So, Stacy Lee knew that Lily Yuan would be home alone that night. After chopping off Lily Yuan's hand, She hid underground for 7 days before leaving, even preparing a chamber pot. Stacy Lee left no trace behind. Karen was shocked by Stacy Lee's extreme patience. How much hatred does Stacy Lee hold towards the victims? There was only one culprit who harmed her in the past. She wanted to chop off the hands of everyone before considering it complete. Alex Chow suddenly noticed a water gun in the photo. He asked, "What's it for? How did this tomb collapse? Why does she have a lot of immigrants' information in Australia?" Alex Chow got 3rd place in the piano competition. Amber Chow should have changed her name. She is the next victim. The flight from Australia to this city arrived at 3 p.m. Alex Chow took out his phone and saw that it was already 4:15. He said, "I'm going to look for Stacy Lee." He then ran out the door. He didn't forget to remind Karen to take pictures of the evidence and then go to the police station for support. At this moment, Karen found out that Amber Chow did change her name. But isn't she in Australia? Alex Chow explained as he got on the car. "That grave belongs to Amber Chow's father." Stacy Lee must have deliberately made a hole in the grave. She forged an official document to tell Amber Chow that the collapse of the grave appeared without cause. Amber Chow was lured back to the country to have her hands chopped off. Time is running out. Amber Chow has been off the plane for over an hour. After saying this, Alex Chow drove off in a hurry. At that moment, Amber Chow had already appeared in front of her father's grave. A figure holding an axe behind him was slowly approaching Alex Chow. "Pay attention." The young man opened his eyes and saw a beautiful woman in black stockings squatting in front of him. He didn't stand steady for a moment and bumped his head into the woman's chest. Just now, Alex Chow was still speeding on the road. He heard Karen say that she couldn't find Stacy Lee's location. She needs more time to search for Amber Chow. Alex Chow couldn't wait. His brain was running at full speed. If Amber Chow has no other plans, where will she go directly after exiting the airport? She will go to the cemetery. There are no cameras there. It's indeed a good place for the murderer to dispose of the weapon. Alex Chow immediately accelerated towards the cemetery. At this moment, Amber Chow had already fainted on the ground in the cemetery. Just as the murderer raised the axe preparing to strike, Alex Chow arrived just in time. He shouted, "Stop!" Stacy Lee, upon seeing this, immediately started to run away. Alex Chow made efforts to chase after her from behind. They arrived at a dead end. The murderer stopped. Alex Chow took out a silver bracelet and was about to bring the murderer back to the police station. The murderer suddenly turned around violently. She shot Alex Chow. At this moment, Alex Chow finally realized that the water gun was actually a tranquilizer gun. He could only watch helplessly as the murderer escaped. He also collapsed and fainted. When Alex Chow opened his eyes again, he saw a pair of legs wearing black stockings. This is forensic pathologist Nikki Wong from the police department, and Alex Chow smartly stood up. But he stood up too quickly again due to the effects of the drug. He bumped into Nikki Wong's arms. He had a close encounter with Nikki Wong's big chest. Alex Chow covered his head and slowly got up. At this moment, Nikki Wong seductively reached out her hand. Alex Chow hastily took her hand. The medical examiner took the opportunity to pounce into Alex Chow's arms. Nikki Wong said, "I heard early on that the troublemaker detective from Group A turned out to be you." At this time, Alex Chow also gradually woke up. He said, "I'm really sorry for earlier." He suddenly thought of Amber Chow. Is Amber Chow's hand okay? He was relieved to hear Karen say that she was fine. At this moment, Agent Group Leader A approached and asked, "Why didn't you tell us about these clues earlier? If the killer leaves the city, it will be difficult to catch him. You wouldn't still be thinking about the bet with me, would you?" Karen interjected, saying, "Alex Chow is a recent lead we found, and we're not sure if we're heading in the right direction. What if we mislead everyone?" Nikki Wong also added from the side. If it weren't for Alex Xiao being the first to arrive at the scene, Amber Xiao would have lost her hand just now. He even got drugged himself. It was very dangerous. Alex Xiao, however, burst out laughing. He walked up to Zach Liu and said, "We agreed that as long as I catch the culprit of the hand-chopping case, I win." He then walked towards the back. Karen shouted, "Hey, Alex Xiao, the exit is over there. Where are you going?" She provoked a burst of laughter from her colleagues. Everyone thought his medication hadn't worn off yet, only to see Alex Xiao lift his foot. Alex Xiao put his foot down. He stepped on a big pothole. Alex Xiao jumped down. Colleagues were frightened and hurried forward to check. It was discovered that Alex Xiao was holding on to Stacy Lee. A 12-year-old piano prodigy passed a level 10 exam. The parents spared no effort to fulfill her piano dreams. But she faced jealousy from others due to a competition. Her fingers were cut off by someone, ending her piano dream. She went from being in the limelight to hitting rock bottom. She was not only physically harmed, but also psychologically, as her father passed away because of this. Her mother got cancer. She attributed all these misfortunes to that competition. Therefore, she began seeking revenge. She wants to chop off the right hands of those competitors who were better than her in the piano competition. But don't forget, as long as you commit a crime, the police will find you. How bright the lights are in the interrogation room at this moment. Nor can it illuminate the darkness in her heart. Stacy Lee interrogated Alex Xiao. Who exactly placed blades on the piano back then? They took up my practice time, and everyone who made it to the finals is responsible. She shouted out loudly the hatred that had accumulated in her heart for so many years. She naively believed that the police only found her because someone must have admitted to harming her. When she heard Alex Xiao say, "No one has mentioned harming you. I found your home based on the same game," Stacy Lee shouted. "Impossible. Even if you find my home, you won't be able to know that I am hiding under the tomb." Alex Xiao thought, "I can't tell her that I put the invisible tracer on her ass before I fainted, can I?" So he randomly made up a lie saying, "Your sedative has expired." Stacy Lee kept repeating that it was impossible. No matter how well planned a scheme is, it will eventually not escape the sanctions of the law. At this moment, Stacy Lee finally lifted her head, and the sunlight shone on her face. She remembered how much her parents had sacrificed for her piano dream. And she couldn't achieve anything. Her dad passed away, and her mom got cancer. Everything was lost. Alex Xiao felt very sorry as he looked at Stacy Lee in front of him. Although he sympathized with her experience, she should not hurt innocent people no matter what. Before leaving, Alex Xiao asked Stacy Lee, "Have you thought about your mom before seeking revenge? How will she survive without you? Who will take care of her?" Stacy Lee shed tears of regret at this moment. Alex Xiao told Stacy Lee not to hurt others anymore in the future. After coming out, Alex Xiao was not as excited as expected for solving the case, but rather especially unhappy. He felt really upset that the bastard who hurt Stacy Lee back then was still at large. After he arrived at the lobby, only to see a sidekick pointing at Alex Xiao and saying, "It's him," he said. "The person we are looking for is him." A muscle man. Clenching his fists, he is about to move forward. Have you ever seen someone who can make wealthy, beautiful women fall in love with him without driving a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW? Moreover, the beautiful woman has a very sexy figure. Just now, the thugs are looking for Alex Xiao in the bureau. Alex Xiao threw the muscle-tough guy over his shoulder and tossed him several meters away. Colleagues behind him quickly intervened. The thug said, "This is the representative of the merchant whose goods you broke while riding a camel in the alley before, and he is here to ask for compensation from you." Alex Xiao thought to himself, "I did this in my past life. They are not merchants at all. Clearly just small-time thugs. They are here to scam money. I have seen many people like this. He stepped forward and grabbed Sidekick by the ear. He said, "Look at you. You haven't lost any hands or legs. You don't even have a reporter." He continued, "I can send you to jail with just a raise of my hand." The Sidekick trembled in fear. Alex Zhao suddenly heard someone calling his name. He turned his head and found another busted beauty. She said, "There is $100,000. You must accept it." Just then, Amber Zhao came over with a box of money. With her hand on Alex Zhao, she charmingly said, "Thanks to you." Amber Zhao invited Alex Zhao to have dinner together. At this time, the captain behind hurriedly said, "Alex Zhao, you cannot accept money." Only to see Alex Zhao pushing away Amber Zhao's hand, saying, "I won't eat the meal. We cannot violate the rules. I have to bother Miss Zhao for the money. Can you write a voluntary donation certificate? Otherwise, I'll be penalized later." Amber Zhao readily agreed. Shortly after, Amber Zhao handed over her business card and said, "Feel free to contact me if you need any help in the future." Everyone envies Alex Zhao. At this moment, Alex Zhao noticed that Sidekick wants to escape. Alex Zhao grabbed him by the tuft of hair on his head. Take out the stack of money that Amber Zhao just gave and slap him in the face, saying, "This money is to be divided among those merchants." Several people replied in agreement, running faster than rabbits. Alex Zhao could only watch them leave helplessly. Alex Zhao later announced that he would treat everyone to dinner at the Grand Hotel tonight. His colleagues behind him cheered. However, Alex Zhao still holds a grudge against the perpetrator who harmed Stacy Lee. He picked up the ranking list from that year, lost in thought. Amber Zhao had just left when Alex Zhao started feeling a little nostalgic for her. He then called to arrange a meeting. Inside the coffee shop, Alex Zhao took out the list and showed it to Amber Zhao. He said, "This is the final score of the competition back then. You all were very close, that's what I mean. Only you four can benefit from Stacy Lee's withdrawal in the competition. If the three people who had their hands cut off knew the truth back then, Stacy Lee would have been arrested long ago and would not have targeted you at all." Amber Zhao said, "Officer Zhao, what do you mean? You're not suspecting that I harmed Stacy Lee, are you?" Alex Zhao said, "Amber Zhao, what have you done to Stacy Lee?" Take a look. This father actually knelt down in front of his own biological daughter. How he ruined the lives of 5 young girls again. Inside the coffee shop, Alex Zhao raised a question. He said, "I have checked the information of several of you. Your father has not only competed for you, but also falsified your school enrollment. You attended the 9th session, but you didn't make it to the finals. The 10th session of the competition was your last chance. Among the 4 people, only you had a reason to bet everything." At this moment, Amber Zhao has lost her previous momentum. She asked, "Where is the evidence? As a police officer, you cannot make unfounded accusations." Alex Zhao let out a long sigh. He said, "Without that blade, her life might have been like yours. But now her father died of depression. Her mother has cancer. She herself may be prosecuted for maliciously injuring others, and may not even be able to save her own life." Amber Zhao forcefully suppressed her emotions and shouted, "Enough." Amber said, "Do you know how I have spent these years? This matter caused her a lifetime of harm. It is also a shadow that I can never erase. 18 years ago, the day before the competition, according to the committee's regulations, I finished practicing the piano at 3 p.m. and returned to the hotel. At night, my father said something was left in the auditorium, and he needed to go back to retrieve it. I wanted to accompany him, but was sternly rejected. He rarely speaks to me so firmly. That day, my father didn't come back until 11 p.m. He inexplicably instructed, 'You must perform well in the competition tomorrow.' Until the day of the award ceremony, I unexpectedly witnessed Stacy Lee's mother arguing with the organizers. It was then that I found out she withdrew from the competition suddenly because a blade from the piano she was practicing on cut her finger. She had the accident on the evening when her father returned home late. I really couldn't force a smile at all on the award stage. I hope Stacy Lee's matters have nothing to do with my father. But on the day when I was packing up and getting ready to go home, I found a whole box of art knife blades in my father's bag. I had a big argument with my father. He knelt down and begged me. He didn't allow me to spread the situation out. My parents divorced when I was young, and my father raised me alone. He would work 3 jobs in a day and wouldn't rest at night, just to provide everything for me. I don't want him to go to jail. Perhaps it's karma. Later on, my father was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and passed away. He also couldn't forgive himself for what happened to Stacy Lee. After the competition, I never touched the piano again. Every time I see a piano, my mind is filled with Stacy Lee and her bloody hands. Amber Shaw wiped away her tears as she spoke. She said, "Don't worry, officer. I will hire the best legal team to help Stacy Lee. I will also arrange for someone to take care of her mother. I understand it's not about money between Stacy Lee and me. I'm not seeking her forgiveness. I just hope things don't escalate further." Alex Zhao sighed and said, "Okay." He thought that things had come to this point. There was no better choice. Inside the nightclub, Alex Zhao, who had solved 2 major cases in a row, sang loudly. His colleagues were video calling with their team leader. The team leader was full of praise. At this moment, Alex Zhao noticed that the forensic scientist Nikki Wang had been staring at him all along. It seems like she has some other intentions. Inside the nightclub, a beautiful woman has been constantly giving him flirtatious looks. Will the man be able to successfully win her over? After singing, Alex Zhao intentionally sat in her car. But Alex Zhao was a little confused from drinking. Nikki Wang asked with concern, "Are you okay? You didn't drink too much, did you?" Alex Zhao said, "I didn't lay a hand on you. So, I probably didn't drink too much." Nikki Wang's lips lifted in a smile as she said, "Very straightforward. Actually, we're not compatible." Alex Zhao looked excitedly at the medical examiner and thought, "Not compatible but still giving me a ride. Could it be that she really has feelings for me?" Nikki Wang seemed to see through Alex Zhao's thoughts. She said, "Thinking of good things, huh? Let me tell you. A body was transported to the Q Mountain Reservoir today. I've postponed half of my work for your party. I have to go back later to finish the examination." Alex Zhao didn't know what to say. He was thinking, it's so professional to be able to enjoy a meal after performing a halfway dissection. Nikki Wang's eyes suddenly dimmed. She said, "I've touched countless dead bodies with my hands. Do you still want to sleep with me?" Alex Zhao, however, did not think so. He said, "What are you talking about? People didn't die just because you touched them. You're such a beautiful woman. Of course, I want to sleep with you." Nikki Wang's face blushed slightly. She smiled shyly, as if feeling a bit touched. After arriving at the destination, Alex Zhao was about to get off the car. But he had a second thought and couldn't just leave like this. Alex Zhao said, "Wouldn't it be nice if someone went up to my house for a visit?" Nikki Wang looked at the handsome Alex Zhao under the moonlight. She tossed her hair and gave a meaningful smile. Alex Zhao thought, she was just giving me a hint. "Please come up to my house and have a seat. She runs faster than a rabbit. I suspect she is playing hard to get. Unfortunately, I have to guard the empty house alone again." Alex Zhao was about to return home, but was stopped by Caddy. She said, "It's really hard to make an appointment with you. You played beautifully enough." Alex Zhao replied, "I'm really working on a major case." Caddy said, "Did you forget that you messed up my student union?" After saying that, she began to pester Alex Zhao. She cried pitifully and asked Alex Xiao to help deal with the teacher's home visit. Alex Xiao still felt a little guilty about the parent-teacher meeting incident, so he agreed to help. The next day during the teacher's home visit, Alex Xiao watched as Caddy showed off in front of the teacher. Alex Xiao thought to himself, "Why doesn't this cheeky girl become an actress? She changes faces faster than flipping a book." For Alex Xiao, pretending to be a parent is too boring. At this moment, Alex Xiao's body is in Chaoying, but his heart is in Han. He remembered the forensic beauty from last night again. She also doesn't know if the body in the reservoir has been properly dealt with. After the home visit by Caddy's teacher finished, Alex Xiao returned to the police station. He stepped forward and embraced Nikki Wang, saying to everyone, "I will investigate Nikki Wang's case." He then made plans to discuss the case with Nikki Wang tonight. But he was interrupted by Cece, who said, "You're not available tonight. You don't need to worry about the case. Penny Chu and the others are investigating. Pack your things this afternoon and come here to report." Alex Xiao looked at the police officer training notice in his hand. He looked very unhappy. Shortly after, he arrived at the training base. Alex Xiao lay bored on the ground playing with his phone. He was thinking about how the props given by the request system recently were all inexplicable. Telescope, appraisal instrument, air quality detector. Sometimes Alex Xiao can accidentally summon the request system with a single sneeze. Suddenly, Alex Xiao was attracted by a "Good morning, Ellen." Alex Xiao turned his head and sat up directly. His eyes lit up. This woman has fair skin, a beautiful face, and long legs. She also has 8-pack abs. Even Ellen's action of drinking water is so charming. Alex Xiao thought in his heart, "Who is that girl?" The next second, he ran up to the beauty and struck up a conversation. He also wanted to teach the beauty grappling skills. Ellen glanced at Alex Xiao. The people behind all looked surprised and asked, "What is Alex Xiao doing?" She is a 2-time international champion, a bare-knuckle combat expert. She is the shadow of all the male police officers in the city. The criminals caught by her are all injured. Most are left half-disabled by her beatings. Alex Xiao has no idea that he is on the edge of danger. Do you know about John Whaley's knockout punch to Joanna? Keep reading if you don't know. At this moment, Alex Xiao is facing the same punch. Can he still make it out alive? Just now, Ellen accepted Alex Xiao's invitation. Alex Xiao is preparing to teach her how to fight in real combat. He looked at Ellen with an innocent and harmless face. Alex Xiao showed off, saying, "Let me teach you how to pin down an opponent's elbow. Make a punch." Just in less than 0.5 seconds, Ellen throws a straight punch, aiming to hit Alex Xiao's face. However, Alex Xiao is not an easy target and effortlessly catches it. He grabs Ellen's wrist. Then he casually exerted force and pressed Ellen down, all the while teaching his tactics. I saw Ellen give a charming smile. She claimed to have a way to counter this move. Alex Xiao was all smiles, thinking she was joking. The next second, it was the same scene as before. She threw a punch, directly knocking out Alex Xiao. Before he could react, she followed up with a high kick. Alex Xiao widened his eyes. The instinct for survival made him raise his arm to block. But he was still kicked several meters away. Alex Xiao grimaced in pain. He only realized why such a beautiful woman didn't have a man by her side. It turns out she is too good at fighting. Ellen moved her wrist. She revealed her innocent smile of youth. She said, "You mustn't get angry." Ellen continued to provoke. Alex Xiao cannot tolerate such provocations. He said, "Actually, I have a way to defeat you." Ellen said, "Bring it on." Ellen also admires his fearless spirit. Only to see Alex Xiao swiftly throwing a punch, but it was easily dodged by Ellen. Ellen has not yet realized what kind of attack it is. She was then grabbed on the arm. Alex Xiao smirked devilishly. Then he exerted force. Ellen was then turned around. Her hands were both controlled, a position that every man enjoys. Ellen's face turned red. She shouted, "Let me go!" Alex Xiao was seen getting close to her ear. He said, "Call me daddy and I'll let you go." This man is using force to bully the beautiful woman. Fight with Ellen. Actually bit someone on the butt. Just now, Alex Xiao locked Ellen tightly. He also engaged in verbal harassment. Ellen used all her strength to lean back. Smashed Alex Xiao's head dizzy. Before Alex Xiao could react. Following that, Ellen performed a high roundhouse kick. About to hit Alex Xiao in the face. Luckily, Alex Xiao caught Ellen's beautiful leg in time. He also remembers to praise. He said, "Your legs feel good, but you lack a bit of strength." Ellen was completely enraged. She leaped into the air and added a front leg sweep. Alex Xiao had no way to defend himself at all. He was locked underneath Ellen. Unexpectedly, Alex Xiao was ruthless. He bit Ellen's bottom with his mouth. Ellen screamed in pain. Ellen struck frantically toward Alex Xiao's face. At this moment, the leader walked over and said, "Stop quickly." Both of them finally stopped. Ellen covered her butt and said, "You are a hooligan." Alex Xiao replied, "You just can't beat me." The leader couldn't help it and said to them, "Shut up." At this time, in a hospital ward, the deputy director asked the captain, "He's a newcomer, so unruly. Are you sure you want him to be your successor?" The captain was very confident. The captain said, "His aggression and ruthlessness are stronger than that of criminals. He is talented. I have already arranged a plan for him. First, let's work on changing his personality and temper." Meanwhile, Alex Xiao has a lollipop in his mouth. Appearing in a rundown neighborhood with Karen. Just finished training, and was assigned to the Unresolved Cases unit. Karen couldn't help but worry. She said, "Do you know how difficult these old cases are to deal with?" Alex Xiao, however, said confidently, "The reason why this case hasn't been solved in 10 years is because they didn't have me." Then he pushed the door open and entered. An empty room. Rusty stains. A few overturned bottles and a sofa. Alex Xiao started analyzing the clues. 10 years ago at 8 p.m., amidst thunder and rain, the victim Gary Yu passed out drunk on his own sofa. At the time of the incident, there was a vague figure seen at the intersection of the community, but due to the lack of surveillance cameras in the area, we have very little information about the suspect. The victim was fatally stabbed more than 40 times from the front. There were no fingerprints or shoe prints left at the scene, and there were no signs of forced entry on the door lock. Either the victim opened the door himself, or the suspect had a key to the house. The suspect used the victim's blood to write a message demanding repayment of a debt. If the suspect sought revenge, they wouldn't mention a debt. If the suspect sought repayment of a debt, there was no need to create such a bloody scene with over 40 stabs and write such superfluous words. What is their motive? At this moment, Alex Xiao's phone suddenly rang. Alex Xiao was startled. Picked it up and checked. Jennifer Yao. Isn't this Alex Xiao's ex-girlfriend from a past life? Answering the call. She actually said she wants to have dinner with me. If there is a next life. Would you choose to be with her again if you meet your current girlfriend in the next life? In the hot pot restaurant. Alex Xiao accepted the invitation from his former girlfriend Jennifer Yao. She is still grateful for the last time Alex Xiao saved her. She said, "The main bag was a gift from my boyfriend." Alex Xiao couldn't even eat when he heard this. He thought to himself, "She actually has a boyfriend now." Seeing Jennifer Yao hesitating, Alex Xiao sensed something was amiss. He said, "Just say whatever you want to say. If I can help, I will." Jennifer Yao asked, Can you check on my boyfriend for me? Alex Xiao was helpless, but he still agreed in the end. He then called the expert in finding people, Daniel Zahn, to explain the situation. Jennifer Yao's boyfriend has been asking her for money. Jennifer Yao is worried that he might be involved in something bad. Daniel Zahn has become much more honest after being educated last time. Daniel Zahn asked, Jennifer Yao's boyfriend is named Jay Zong, right? If I find him, I'll let you know. Alex Xiao quickly thanked him and said, If I find him, I'll treat you to a game of billiards. Daniel Zahn remembered the fight he had at the billiards hall last time. He no longer dares to let Alex Xiao go to the billiards hall again, so he could only suggest, Let's have dinner instead. Let's not play billiards. After hanging up the phone, Alex Xiao looked out the window and began to investigate the previous case. Mary Lin was once the wife of the victim Gary Yu and is also the prime suspect in the case. She endured long-term domestic violence from Gary Yu. Mary Lin was once beaten to the point of having a miscarriage. Gary Yu also threatened her entire family, and once even broke Mary Lin's father's leg. Gary Yu was killed on the night of the incident. Mary Lin was in the hospital accompanying her cousin during childbirth. She has a perfect alibi. The next day when Mary Lin discovered the body, she was terrified and had a breakdown. It was her neighbor who helped her call the police. Later, Mary Lin attempted suicide several times. She was hospitalized for depression. Mary Lin finally freed herself from the shadow of Gary Yu and remarried to start a few good days. If Mary Lin is really the murderer. Just as Alex Xiao was halfway through his thoughts, his phone suddenly rang. Daniel Zahn is indeed efficient in his work. He said to Alex Xiao, I found the person you were looking for. Jay Zong is making fake hairpieces in his own factory. He's distributing them at the wholesale market today. I will send you his warehouse location and GPS coordinates. Alex Xiao looked at the location on his phone and was about to head there. He was, however, attracted by a series of hurried running footsteps. He fixed his eyes on it. He thought to himself, This is not the training ground. Is it Ellen, who fought with me? Who are they chasing after? He stretched out his foot to block the person who was trying to escape. The thief took a big tumble. The things in the bag scattered all over the ground. Alex Xiao picked up the wallet on the ground. He hasn't looked closely yet. Then Ellen rushed over. One punch. Pushed aside. She said, Get out of the way. Don't block the road. She took off running. One foot kicked the thief's face. She said, I'll let you run. Alex Xiao covered his nose and said, The injuries from last time just started to heal a little bit. Now my nose is hit again. He also went forward and pushed her aside in the same way. Then he also vented his anger on the thief. Ellen danced with her pushed shoulder and said, Dare to fight back. She grabbed Alex Xiao's hair. Pay attention. The young man is hitting a woman. No, it's the woman hitting the young man. They started fighting as soon as they met. The people nearby had a hard time separating them. They were still cursing at each other. I better not see you. I'll hit you every time I see you. You too. Alex Xiao almost forgot about the important matter because of the fight. Looking at the map, Alex Xiao saw that Jay Zhang's position was getting further and further away. Alex Xiao is in a lot of pain. Fortunately, he had some gains. Taking out the wallet he had just picked up, he thought to himself, What does this person do? Why is Ellen grabbing him? Why does his wallet have a photo of Mary Lin? Return to Division R. Daniel Zahn answered this person is called Philip Liu. He's in the wholesale clothing business. The cards in his wallet add up to over 1 million. He also owns 3 properties and 2 cars. Although Philip Liu doesn't have much to do with Mary Lin, he is from the same place as Gary Yu. Daniel Zahn teased Alex Xiao saying, This is a big case that hasn't been solved in 10 years. You can find clues even in the wallet you picked up. You are really lucky. At this moment, the request system alert sounded. The current request has been completed with 80% progress. You have obtained an invisible bug. Alex Xiao thought to himself. This clue must be related to the request system. The photo in hand looks like a candid shot. I should ask Philip Liu. He might know Mary Lynn. On the side, a colleague also began analyzing. Philip Liu is indeed a frequent visitor to the police station. He's involved in various fights. This time he seriously injured someone and is under investigation by the U Division. Danielson agreed. We must interrogate this Philip Liu. But he is currently held at the U Division and not here with us. Karen started to ponder. She thought, who do we know at the U branch? She looked at Alex Xiao. Alex Xiao was very helpless. But he still went for the case. He arrived nervously at the U Sub-Bureau and was stopped at the door by Ellen. She said, Are you here to cause trouble today? Alex Xiao quickly stepped forward and explained. Captain Ellen made it sound like I'm a thug. This time it's official business. Can you help me out? Ellen threw the documents at Alex Xiao and said, If you want to interrogate Philip Liu, the documents you brought are not enough. Bring the official cooperation documents. Alex Xiao replied, Waiting for the official documents will take another month, and we'll miss the best time to solve the case. I will interrogate him first and supplement the information later. Alex Xiao approached and said to Ellen, Last time when I bit your butt, you're not still angry, are you? Ellen blushed with anger. Ellen pushed him away. She said, Anyone can come and judge him today. Only you, Alex Xiao, cannot judge him. Where did you come from? Just roll back to where you came from. He wants to be a good policeman for the people. But he is always surrounded by beautiful women. And also this rival beauty. Just now, he angered Ellen again. The personnel of the U Sub-Bureau are all waiting to see Alex Xiao fail. But he swaggered in. He said, Believe it or not, I can isolate you from the world in minutes. I have superpowers to shield the signals in the entire building. None of you can use your computers or phones. Ellen thinks he has a problem in his head. She said, Are you joking? Ellen said to Alex Xiao, If you can make this building have no signal, I really let you in. Alex Xiao patted Ellen on the shoulder. He said, Captain Ellen, you have to walk the talk. Alex Xiao said, I'm going to start working hard now. Ellen threw off Alex Xiao's hand. She turned her head and ordered her men to turn on the signal detector, wanting to see what tricks he was up to. Alex Xiao pointed at his head and shouted, Ellen likes to eat poop. Ellen was so angry that she gritted her teeth. She said, Alex Xiao, do you want to die? At this moment, she heard someone say there was no signal. Colleagues from downstairs also came up to confirm. Ellen picked up her phone and, sure enough, there was no signal. Ellen glared fiercely at Alex Xiao. She didn't know what tricks he was using. But she could only let him go for questioning. Alex Xiao arrived at the interrogation room. He had intended to make a grand entrance. But he was pushed aside by Ellen. In that moment, he appeared almost like a simpleton. Ellen was still very puzzled about the signal that had just happened. Ellen couldn't even dream of it. In fact, Alex Xiao deceived them with a signal jammer. Alex Xiao has now taken out the lie detector given by the request system to interrogate Philip Liu. Alex Xiao said, When I ask you questions later, you just need to answer with yes or no dot. Alex Xiao asked, Are you a male? Philip Liu answered, Yes. Truth is a green light. Lies shine a red light. Alex Xiao thought, It looks like the lie detector is working fine. Alex Xiao then asked, Are you female? Philip Liu replied, No. Green light. Alex Xiao then asked, Is your name Philip Liu? Philip Liu replied, Yes. Green light. Alex Xiao then asked, Do you love to eat rice cakes? Philip Liu replied, No. Green light. Alex Xiao then asked, Have your parents divorced? Philip Liu replied. No. Green light. Alex Zhao suddenly asked. Did you kill Gary Yu? This question made Philip Liu pale in fear. He quickly said it was not him. The red light is on. Philip Liu lied. Alex Zhao angrily slammed his hand on the table. This time, Ellen and Alex Zhao finally did not fight. They are going to collaborate on a big performance. Next, please enjoy their performance. Just now, Alex Zhao used a lie detector and found out that Philip Liu is the murderer. However, Philip Liu refuses to admit it. Alex Zhao, angry, grabbed Philip Liu by the collar and asked, Do you know Gary Yu's wife, Mary Lynn? Philip Liu hurriedly denied it. Ellen thought to herself, could it be that the suspect really killed someone? Why did Alex Zhao get so flustered just by asking him a few questions? And Alex Zhao, what's going on exactly? He is facing a suspect who is unwilling to admit to even the face of death. Alex Zhao is bored drawing turtles. The culprit is Philip Liu. Alex Zhao has no evidence now. He needs to figure out a way to make Philip Liu confess. Alex Zhao turned his head to look at Ellen outside the door. Then he smirked and walked over to Ellen. Alex Zhao put his hand on Ellen's shoulder and said, I need to discuss something with you. Ellen closed her files. Ellen looked gently at Alex Zhao and said, Go ahead. She suddenly had such a nice attitude. Alex Zhao felt a little nervous. Shortly after, in the interrogation room, Ellen placed the photo in front of Philip Liu. She said, This is the scene of the neighborhood massacre case back then. The words left by the killer highly coincide with your notes. She continued, The figure captured by the surveillance camera at the intersection of the neighborhood matches your height and physique. Perhaps you were well prepared. There were no fingerprints or footprints at the scene. But this is at the scene, the only strand of hair that does not belong to the victim. And it matches your DNA. Looking at all the evidence in front of him, Philip Liu shouted, Impossible. You're lying. I want to find a lawyer. Ellen turned her head and exchanged glances with Alex Zhao. No, Philip Liu is not fooled. Forget it. Only to see Alex Zhao, with a determined look, step forward. He said, Take a good look. Besides physical evidence, we also have testimonies. Alex Zhao said, while showing a photo of Mary Lynn. At this point, Philip Liu started to panic. He asked, Did Mary Lynn tell everything? The two looked at each other. Alex Zhao then continued with small talk. He said, No need to mention it. Ellen looked at Alex Zhao working. She unexpectedly found Alex Zhao quite handsome. Ellen had just instructed her subordinates to look up his information. Alex Zhao had solved 2 major cases in a row. 15 minutes ago, Alex Zhao even asked Ellen to act in a play for him. In order to make Philip Liu confess, they fabricated evidence. However, Philip Liu's mouth is indeed very tight-lipped. But at this moment, Philip Liu was really fooled by Alex Zhao. Philip Liu said, Yes, I killed Gary Yu. Alex Zhao and Ellen locked eyes. They appeared calm on the surface, but were extremely excited inside. Pay attention. The woman was enjoying some alone time with her boyfriend at home when her husband suddenly showed up. The woman calmly put on her clothes. She even seemed a little reluctant to finish. Her husband angrily beat up her boyfriend, but she looked disdainful. Just now, Philip Liu admitted to his own criminal act. Philip Liu said, I signed an agreement with Mary Lynn. We agreed to exchange murders. Alex Zhao is extremely shocked by Ellen. Shortly after, Philip Liu began to describe the process of the murder. He said, I went to high school with Gary Yu. At that time, I liked a girl named Jin. He couldn't pursue Jin. He spread rumors that Jin slept with him, and he made a big deal out of it in our small hometown. In the end, Jin was forced to drop out of school and go to another city to work. I heard later she was forced to become a prostitute. In my heart, Gary, you deserves to die. Ellen asked. So you sent Mary Lynn to kill your wife, Wendy Jane? Alex Xiao was very surprised. He thought, I didn't expect Philip Liu to have also killed his own wife. It took him a while to understand. So Ellen already knew that Philip Liu was a murderer. No wonder she treated me so well. She even promised to help me. Ellen then asked, Why did you want to kill Wendy Jane? Philip Liu said fiercely, I have wanted to kill her for a long time. She has never respected me, he said. She has never respected my work, he said. Philip Liu continued, The house we live in together was all given by her father. And I am just. Her family only hires maids who work hard. Later, I saw exchanging murders in a drama. So, I found Mary Lynn. She has been beaten by Gary Yu for many years. She must hate him. I worked with her. Not only could we avenge Jin's revenge, but also kill my wife. But Mary Lynn refused to put the matter on hold for a while. Later, that villain Gary Yu actually caused her to miscarry, and she regretted it. We signed the contract and also recorded the audio. Philip Liu continued, The day she killed my wife, I was in the factory. The day I killed her husband, she was with her cousin who was giving birth. Both incidents have alibis. Anyway, I have lived enough for these past 10 years. It feels really good to finally speak out. Alex Xiao and Ellen couldn't say a word. Later on, Alex Xiao went to a barbecue restaurant with colleagues to celebrate. The murder case was finally solved. Alex Xiao was drinking and thinking about the details of the case. Philip Liu is really bold, actually persuading a woman to exchange murders with him. Mary Lynn is so frail, yet Philip Liu isn't afraid of her making a mistake. He continued to recall a few hours ago. Alex Xiao collaborated with Ellen. 2 cases were reported together. The 2 branches worked together on the investigation. Ellen shared real-time updates and is about to apply for an arrest warrant to apprehend Mary Lynn. Ellen notices that Alex Xiao looks a little troubled at the moment. She asks, What's wrong? Alex Xiao always feels that she is not the culprit. Ellen comforted, saying, It's not confirmed yet. Let's wait until she gets to the police station. Alex Xiao realized at this point. Maybe it was because of drinking. He felt warm in his heart. This woman is not only beautiful and smart, but also has soft hands and smooth skin. At this moment, Alex Xiao's phone suddenly rang. Isn't this the woman Alex Xiao was thinking about? Only to see Ellen looking flustered. Alex Xiao, come over quickly. This young man is not kind. He was still drinking with his buddies the last second. However, he abandoned his friends as soon as a beautiful woman called him. He ran faster than a rabbit and arrived in front of Ellen. Alex Xiao urgently asked about the situation while panting. It turns out that Ellen just interrogated Mary Lynn. Mary Lynn claimed that Wendy Jane was stabbed to death with a knife. However, the autopsy report of Wendy Jane indicated that she died of suffocation. There were knife wounds on the victim, but they were very shallow in Ellen's opinion. Mary Lynn has already confessed. There is no reason for her to lie. Alex Xiao questioned. So, it might not be Mary Lynn who killed Wendy Jane. Ellen expressed certainty. Look here. There are many scattered footprints at the scene. But Mary Lynn said she was wearing shoe covers when she went in. Moreover, Mary Lynn disguised herself as a thief and took the valuables from the west bedroom. However, during the on-site investigation, the valuables in the east bedroom were also looted. Alex Xiao felt nauseous because the driver was driving too fast when they arrived just now, and he was struggling to hold back the urge to vomit. Ellen continued to say that there was a third person present at the scene on the day Wendy Jane died. It is possible that this person strangled Wendy Jane first, and then Mary Lynn arrived and stabbed her with a knife. Therefore, Mary Lynn mistakenly thought she had killed Wendy Jane. At this moment, Ellen noticed Alex Xiao's abnormal behavior, but it was already too late. only to see Alex Xiao open his mouth and start vomiting. He vomited all over Ellen. Made Ellen scream in anger. The entire building's windows are almost shattered. Inside the interrogation room, Alex Xiao came to interrogate Mary Lynn. He said, "Just answer yes or no. Did you kill Wendy Jane?" Mary Lynn said, "Yes." But the lie detector showed a red light, even though she didn't appear to be lying. Why did the red light turn on? Alex Xiao asked. Was the person stabbed to death? Mary Lynn said, "Yes." The lie detector still showed a red light. Alex Xiao thought to himself, does she really believe she stabbed Wendy Jane to death, or is she intentionally hiding to protect the real murderer? He then asked, when you stabbed Wendy Jane, was she already dead? Mary Lynn said she didn't know. She was very scared at the time. Mary Lynn just stabbed a few knives into the quilt. Wendy Jane didn't move at all. This answer is correct. Alex Xiao and Ellen are very helpless. But what can be confirmed is that Mary Lynn simply believes that the murderer is herself. However, the real murderer is not Mary Lynn. Arriving outside the police station, Ellen grumbled on the side. Mary Lynn has already confessed, so technically, this case can be closed. Alex Xiao took 2 drags of his cigarette. He said, as you just saw, when Mary Lynn stabbed, she had no idea whether Wendy Jane was dead or alive. Ellen reminded that by closing the case now, we can reap endless benefits, bonuses, and rewards. If we don't close the case, we will face unfinished work, wasted time, and let the killer get away. After 10 years, if the investigation is reopened, Wendy Jane's family will know. They will never let the police off the hook and will incite public opinion to put pressure on us. You are part of the unresolved cases unit yourself. You should know how challenging these long-standing old cases can be. I have said what needed to be said. I want to hear your opinion. Should this case be closed or not? Just saw Alex Xiao give a sinister smile. He said, if you had given up hope, you wouldn't be telling me these things right now. And you wouldn't be calling me here in the middle of the night. Ellen also smiled. I regret even more for calling you, otherwise, I wouldn't have been vomited all over by you. Alex Xiao stepped forward. Then let's catch the killer together. He wants to be a good policeman for the people. But he is always surrounded by beautiful women. He hit on another beautiful woman today. Just now. Alex Xiao returned to the office with Philip Liu to close the case. Suddenly, he saw a group of people rushing out in a panic. Karen explained that the forensic pathologist previously identified the murderer of the body found in the Q Mountain Reservoir. He is an amateur parkour athlete. When the police arrested him before, they asked him to run, but one of his hands was handcuffed by the police. Just now, a villager reported that they saw someone 2 days ago at the Q Mountain Reservoir. The person was wearing half of a handcuff and looked very similar to Vincent Young, who is on the wanted list. The police are going to arrest him now. Alex Xiao thought to himself. How dare he still stay around the reservoir after hiding the body in the reservoir? Daniel Zahn complained that the terrain near the reservoir is complex, making it particularly difficult to search. Alex Xiao excitedly raised his mouth and said, I'll go too. However, he was stopped by Cece behind him. Director Randall wants to see you. Alex Xiao asked, is Director Randall going to understand that catching the criminals is more urgent? Cece feels quite helpless. That stinky kid's mind is just full of cases. The police arrived at the Q Mountain Reservoir. Karen said, the villager said Vincent Young escaped to the west of the reservoir. Why are we going to the east? Alex Xiao explained, heading west does not necessarily mean he went to the west. Perhaps he walked from east to west and then turned back. Everyone has been searching in the north and south these days, but there has been no news. At this moment, Alex Xiao noticed that the woman outside the car looked somewhat familiar. He seemed to have seen her somewhere before. She is from the Ellen team. What is she doing here? He then got out of the car and approached her. Alex Xiao asked her who she was talking to. Alex Xiao startled Ellen. Ellen said he was the detective in charge of the Wendy Jane case years ago. He retired a few years ago and now lives here. Alex Xiao remembered his past few days. He was so busy that he didn't have time to check in with Ellen's team. So he caught up with Abby. Alex Xiao asked her how far along the case had progressed. Is this a recording of your conversation about the case just now? Abby remembered that the team leader had instructed not to give the information to Alex Xiao, as he was not focused on the case, and went to the reservoir to catch people. Abby snatched back the voice recorder. She said that the progress of the case cannot be disclosed to Alex Xiao. Alex Xiao said, "This case is jointly responsible for both of us. You should tell me." Abby said she had some concerns and wanted to talk to Ellen. As she said that, Abby got into the car. Alex Xiao blocked the car door. He said, "What I want, no one can refuse me." At this moment, Karen came over. Alex Xiao turned his head. Abby got on the car. As soon as Abby got on the car drove away. She didn't realize that her voice recorder had already been stolen by Alex Xiao. Alex Xiao looked smug. If there is a beautiful woman who has just taken a shower next to you, will you still be calm and just play with your phone? Just now, Alex Xiao is in the car listening to the voice recorder that has just arrived. The suspect is at least 1.8 meters tall, with a disability in the right foot. Additionally, Wendy Jane had mud components on her body, indicating that the killer may have pressed her against a wall to strangle her. At this moment, Alex Xiao's phone suddenly rang. As soon as he answered, he heard Ellen shouting, "Alex Xiao returned the voice recorder to us." "I don't understand what voice recorder you're talking about." Then Ellen became serious and said, "Let me tell you." Mary Lynn's stationery store was smashed. Philip Liu's warehouse was also set on fire. Wendy Jane's family is already making a scene, demanding that the police quickly catch the real culprit. If you have the ability, hurry back and solve the case. Alex Xiao's expression also became solemn after listening. "First, send me the information. Once I finish this case, I will come back to investigate immediately." Not long after, Abby with blonde hair from the gas station chased after him. She snatched back the voice recorder. She said, "There are many cliffs around here, Alex Xiao. You are not familiar with the terrain. Be careful when driving. Don't roll down the cliff. It's hard to retrieve the body." With that, Abby drove away. Alex Xiao stood still. He suddenly poured the pot over his head. He thought to himself, "The terrain is complicated." He immediately asked Karen to find out what Vincent Yang does. Vincent Yang is a government officer at the Technology Bureau. He will participate in field research for projects. Perhaps he has been here before. No wonder he is hiding near the reservoir, because he is familiar with the terrain here. Did he work on a project near the G Mountain Reservoir before? Karen got excited. Yes. It was the silver mine exploration project in White Town. He worked there for 3 years. He must have been here countless times. Isn't White Town right below? Senior brother, you really got it right. Alex Xiao also got excited. Let's go to White Town. Arriving at White Town at deep night. Karen is dozing off in the motel. Senior brother, are you still not sleeping so late? Alex Xiao is looking at the map on the phone. You go to sleep first. Later, Alex Xiao came to the yard. Vincent Yang is doing silver mine exploration. He may be hiding in the mine shaft. But there are so many mine shafts here. Suddenly, a dog ran over. It looked at the chicken leg in Alex Xiao's hand, saliva dripping from its mouth. Alex Xiao hesitated for a moment. He still threw the chicken leg to the dog. Alex Xiao, whose mind was filled with cases, unexpectedly showed the dog a photo of the killer. Later, Alex Xiao laughed foolishly at this move. Unexpectedly, the dog looked at the photo and then turned its head and ran away. Alex Xiao also followed suit. Not long after, the dog stopped. Alex Xiao was breathing heavily from exhaustion. Alex Xiao was helpless and speechless. At this moment, he suddenly heard a noise. Alex Xiao immediately took out a flashlight and shone it towards the sound. A figure flashed by. The silver handcuffs in the person's hand gleamed in the light. It's him. Excitedly, Alex Xiao lifted the corners of his mouth and said, "You can't run away now. Pay attention." This stunning beauty, with her clothes in disarray, sat slumped in the corner of the hallway. What would you do if you were seen by you? Just now, Alex Xiao saw the shadow of the killer. But nothing can be seen in this forest. The killer is a parkour athlete and is familiar with the terrain here. I am sure I can't catch up. Suddenly Alex Xiao had a bright idea. The requesting system's items can come in handy now. So, he took out the invisible night vision device and binoculars. Let me see where you are. Found you. Alex Xiao immediately chased after. When he arrived, the figure disappeared again, just as he was at a loss. The dog followed over and led Alex Xiao to the hiding place of the criminal. When the criminal saw him, he ran away. Alex Xiao jumped up and kicked the criminal down, pitting him to the ground. Alex Xiao's mouth curved up in excitement. At this moment, the criminal suddenly pulled out a dagger. He was about to stab towards Alex Xiao's eyes. Fortunately, Alex Xiao reacted in time and was only cut on the cheek. However, the criminal managed to escape once again. Alex Xiao was thoroughly angered. He stood up and continued to chase. He came to a cave entrance. Alex Xiao stopped in his tracks, facing an unknown fear. What would his choice be? At this moment, the killer was holding a knife, ready to strike inside the cave entrance. Perhaps Alex Xiao would die as soon as he entered. Just as the killer was wondering why Alex Xiao hadn't made a move yet, Alex Xiao kicked over a wooden plank, knocking the killer to the ground. The killer climbed back up from the ground, trying to reach for the fallen dagger. Alex Xiao intercepted by sticking 2 fingers into the killer's nostrils. He performed a double penetration on the killer. After Alex Xiao subdued the killer, Alex Xiao noticed a box nearby. But the most important thing right now is to find a way out quickly. There is no signal on the phone. Don't forget, I have an invisibility locator and a signal booster. So Alex Xiao called a colleague and sent the location. After everything was done, Alex Xiao was still curious about what was in the box. After opening it, Alex Xiao was surprised to find a bag full of money inside. They were very old bills from a different era. Their value has probably increased several times by now. Why would there be so much money in an abandoned mine? Soon, colleagues arrived and took the culprit away in a car. Alex Xiao looked at the handsome himself in the photo with satisfaction. He also reminded his colleague Karen, who was still at the hotel. He asked them to pick up Karen on the way while he went home first. Just as Alex Xiao was about to drive away, the dog squatted on the side, watching Alex Xiao eagerly. Alex Xiao sighed. Come on up. Alex Xiao dragged his weary body up the stairs. At this moment, a dog suddenly ran into the hallway, only to see an extremely beautiful woman. She was sitting slouched in the corner with disheveled clothes. Pay attention. The beautiful woman just opened her eyes. And then she saw a huge dog head appear in front of her. She kept backing away in fear. At this moment, Alex Xiao spoke up. Why are you sleeping in the hallway in the middle of the night? Flora explained. I forgot my keys. I thought I would rest at the door and wait for my roommates to come back. I accidentally fell asleep. Alex Xiao noticed a bruise on Flora's face, as if she had been hit by someone, but she still looked pretty. So, Alex invited Flora into the house to wait for a while. Who knew that as soon as Flora entered the house, she wanted to take a shower first. It turns out Flora is giving the dog a bath. Flora asked Alex Xiao, What is the name of this dog? Alex Xiao is sitting leisurely on the sofa. he casually answered. Expert in sniffing poop. After cleaning it, Alex Xiao found that this dog is quite beautiful. At this time, Flora spoke up. It is a Belgian Shepherd. Oh. The police force uses it as a tracking dog. I specialize in raising dogs at home. I grew up in a dog kennel. Just gave the dog a bath and got Flora's clothes wet. The good figure was all exposed. Alex Xiao widened his eyes and pretended to stay calm. How old is this dog? Flora said. Around 2 or 3 years old. Suddenly, there was a knocking at the door. Flora walked up and said, I'll go and open it. After opening the door, Flora found her roommate inside. Why did you run next door? I heard your voice and came over to check on you, her roommate said. At this moment, the roommate noticed that Flora's clothes were disheveled and she was completely soaked. Flora's roommate turned and ran. Flora hurried to catch up. Don't misunderstand, Hansi. I got dirty washing the dog. Alex Xiao looked confused sitting in place. We didn't do anything. I didn't have any bad intentions. The next day, inside the hot pot restaurant, Karen complained on the side. I haven't finished the final report of this murder case. You already caught the murderer at the Shanshui Reservoir. I've worn calluses on my fingers from typing, but I can't keep up with your speed of catching people. The new clerk of Group B has just arrived. Team leader Betty Chu asked me to help guide them. Their group has solved the theft case at the nursing home. The security guard targeted the donation of 1 million yuan in the director's office. He adjusted the angle of the nursing home surveillance cameras. He also hid the stolen money in the nursing home cellar. Alex Xiao asked how it was cracked. Because there was no recording at all. So Betty Chu speculated that it was an inside job. Betty Chu then interrogated the security guard. One of the security guard's possessions was a set of new keys that he had made himself. That set of new keys could open the principal's office, the control room, and the cellar. Once this was investigated, the case was solved. Alex Xiao is analyzing the case. At this moment, he heard some commotion behind him. A few small thugs came to cause trouble for the boss. They also want to drive away the man who is eating. The man remains unmoved. The thugs were enraged and gnashed their teeth. The thug picked up a beer bottle and smashed it on the table. Are you deaf? I told you to leave, he shouted. They were about to start a fight as they spoke. Meanwhile, the R branch is bustling with activity preparing the scene. The director personally issued instructions. Chief Sam Su is here at our branch to complete an important task assigned by the provincial department. We need to coordinate fully in the coming months. Cece is looking around for Alex Xiao nearby. Sam Su specifically asked to see Alex Xiao. The female colleagues also started gossiping. At this moment, this person who looks like a drunkard seems to be on the verge of being beaten up. The thugs are about to start. A plate flew over. Alex Xiao picked up chopsticks and poked the bottle out of the thug's hand. He said fiercely, "If you don't eat, then get out." This time he saved two beautiful girls. They promised to come and serve him together. This guy is really popular with the ladies. Just now, Alex Xiao is still in the restaurant educating little thug. The thugs found out that this person is a police officer. They immediately ran away. Alex Xiao calmly continued to cook hot pot. At this time, Karen received a call from the team. To welcome the leader sent by the provincial department, Karen needs to hurry back to the team now. After hearing this, Alex Xiao obediently went back as well. They arrived at the office. Chief Sam Su has arrived and is getting acquainted with colleagues. I heard that there is someone named Alex Xiao in our bureau who has solved several major cases. I wonder who this person is. At this moment, Alex Xiao is discussing the Wendy Jane case with Ellen over the phone. He heard someone calling his name. Alex Xiao turned his head. Sam Su said, "We are colleagues now since I just transferred here today." Sam Su reached out to shake hands as he spoke. Alex Xiao raised the corners of his mouth and said, "Oh, it's you." Sam Su said, "If it wasn't for you just now, my face might have been hurt. Let me treat you to dinner tomorrow night." Alex Xiao replied, "It's no big deal. I'll treat you instead." The colleagues on the side were all astonished. How did Alex Xiao know Sam Su? And now Sam Su is even inviting him to dinner. Alex Xiao was about to return home when he heard a commotion. "Flora, stop hiding. If you don't come out soon, I will break down your door." Inside, Flora shouted, "Teddy Hong, you beat someone up and now come looking for trouble with us. Are you still human? A bunch of people are banging violently on the door." Alex Xiao finally understood Flora's face. It might have been him who hit her. So he came up with a plan. Then he shouted, "Hello! I don't know who you are." The three of them looked confused. "Who are you? We've never heard of you." Alex Xiao said, "So it's Teddy Hong who has come. I heard that the best quality drugs in the biggest bar on C Street can't even be obtained by Teddy Hong." His psychic was very dissatisfied and said, "All the drugs there should be under the control of Teddy Hong." Alex Xiao secretly recorded the entire conversation. He also gave a thumbs up. Teddy Hong is indeed a big shot. Then Alex Xiao smirked. "I will now cripple Teddy Hong." Saying that, he rubbed his hands together and approached. Only screams could be heard. The two sisters hiding inside the house thought everyone had left when they heard no movement outside. So they opened the door. Alex Xiao was seen sitting on the fat man's face in a triumphant posture. He said, "I sent the recording to the police. They will come to arrest him soon." Just selling drugs could get Teddy Hong a life sentence. The two sisters quickly expressed their gratitude. Alex Xiao said happily, "I didn't do this job for nothing. You two go in now and clean up, then come over to my place to take care of me." The two sisters blushed when they heard it. Caddy took Ellen upstairs. Ellen said she was just here to look for someone. Arriving in front of the house, Caddy said that Alex Xiao lives here. The door is not closed. Ellen pushed open the door. She was stunned by the scene before her eyes. She saw two sexy women pleasuring Alex Xiao. This guy sure knows how to have fun. He saved two exceptional beauties. He actually demanded the two beauties. Together they gave him a massage. At this moment, Alex Xiao is leisurely enjoying himself at home.